bringing back a retro name is the cool thing in the auto industry right now, and Safari's done it really well. And now there's a new one. It's grand, and it's not grand because it says grand in its name. It's grand because it's a big new launch. It's a big new launch for Maruti Suzuki because it's their new flagship. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Grand Vitara is back. Okay, so let's talk about the way this thing looks, and let's obviously first talk about parallels drawn between the Grand Vitara and the Hyryder, because obviously you guys are going to do it as well. Now in the past we've seen badge engineer jobs, so literally a Suzuki badge on a Toyota vehicle or vice versa. It's normally vice versa, but in this case it's a lot more because this front bit has actually been changed by Suzuki, and it's a bit more Suzuki, because I'm going to put a picture of the original Grand Vitara that we used to get here in India, the last one. So put one picture right here. And if you see the parallels between this grille and that grille, it sort of is still there. I mean, Toyota did it their way with the small grille on the top and the big air dam on the bottom, and Suzuki's gone their way with the split grille, similar to what you see maybe on like a Swift or something. Imagine this as a much larger, much more aggressive, much bigger Swift, sort of. I know I'm really clutching at straws here, but it sort of is that design language. Now obviously you have the daytime running lights on the top and the headlight on the bottom, but the other difference, and this is something that we've not seen very regularly on these Toyota Suzuki jointly made cars, is a set of wheels that's different on this one as well, and that's a nice thing to have for somebody who likes their wheels. It's nice to have a different set of wheels from your sister car. This is the hybrid, and the difference between this particular one and the reason why I'm doing my PTC with this one, my piece to camera, with this one and not that one, or the one here or the one there, is because this also gets gloss black claddings on the front and the back and the side. And this little bit here, which is supposed to be grey on the other cars, again is gloss grey here. Now I like this sort of stuff more because this looks a lot more urban as compared to a more sort of pseudo ruggedness that the other versions have. The flip side though is that all that gloss, that's gonna be a scratch magnet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then some. 4,345 mm, that makes it a rather long car, and that means you get a lot of space on the inside, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Let me talk about the rear end design, because of course you've got the claddings and bits, but again this one has a gloss cladding on the bottom because it's the hybrid, the top of the line car, which I like. But let me talk about this light bar design, because we've seen this in a whole bunch of cars. The Taygun has it, and of course the updated Venue has it, and it looks rather nice on the updated Venue as well, and this has it, but this doesn't connect from end to end because there is a Suzuki logo in the middle, and that sort of breaks up the light bar. But I'm sure people are going to find a way of making this light bar and this light bar connect somehow in the aftermarket. But overall, again, a great design, and that's something that I've noticed a lot on recently. Suddenly every car, the back end of every car, looks really, really nice. I wonder what the designers have been doing at the back. ISUV engines undergo a lot of stress both in city driving and on tough terrains, particularly during warm-up, in stop-start traffic, and of course while carrying heavy loads. Ordinary car oils may not be enough for your SUV, and that is why we recommend fully synthetic Castrol Magnatec SUV for superior protection. Now this is the hybrid version, which we've been showing you all this while, and that means this has a little bit less boot space in the back, but it's got a nice little high loading bay so I can rest my back and rest my legs for just a little bit and talk about all the engine and gearbox options that you can get. Now let me talk about this first. 116 horsepower on the strong hybrid, and it comes only with the automatic gearbox option. No manual on the hybrid, I'm guessing that's fine, but no all-wheel drive either, because the all-wheel drive option is only available with a manual gearbox and the K15 engine, which is on that car there in the background. And that's going to piss a few people off, because people want a fully loaded option now. People want a hybrid powertrain, people want an automatic gearbox, people want all-wheel drive, all in one package. So if you're going to be somebody who's looking for that fully loaded package, sadly the Grand Vitara doesn't offer you one yet, or maybe ever, but well, that's what you're going to get. Automatic with this, you get the automatic in the normal, the 6-speed auto in the K15 engine option car as well. but I think this is the one to buy. Strange though, I would have preferred the all-wheel drive on this as well. Sadly, it doesn't get it. Right, now before we get to all the bits and pieces that are glitzy and glamorous in the interior, I have to make one point amply clear right where we start. This is one of the most spacious interiors, and that's not surprising because this is one of the biggest cars in the segment. The other thing I want to talk about, and this is a pleasant surprise, is this thing is really, really well built. I'm going to go on a limb and say this is the best Maruti Suzuki interior that we've ever had in India. Yes, that's including the Kizashi, and that's including the last gen Grand Vitara. This is a big, big, big step above all of that. That's a welcome change because a lot of people have complained about Maruti Suzuki's not being as well built in the past, and that's a realistic complaint because there have been issues, but at this price point they could not have got it wrong, and they haven't got it wrong. It feels really well built. Now this particular car is slightly customized, so whatever this finish is isn't what you're going to get on your normal car. It's going to be the silver on the standard ones, or the hybrid gets a really nice bronze-ish finish, a gold-ish finish, and I really like that. We're going to maybe put a shot in it if we have that picture or that video available. But in general, 9-inch big screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless car features, whatever you need, a gigantic big sunroof, cool seats, and the seats itself are just so well made with this sort of almost Bentley-like quilting on the top and this sort of ventilated part on the bottom here. Yes, people are cribbing about the way the steering wheel looks similar to what the other cars have, but in general, again, I come back to this. This is the best built Maruti Suzuki we've ever had in India. Surprising, isn't it? That space I keep harping about, it's in the back too. In fact, 3 of us comfortably fit in the back seat, and I'd show you that footage if my colleagues hadn't decided to act like 13-year-old juvenile children and keep their hands to themselves. Basically, though, a lot of space everywhere, perfect for the great big Indian family. Okay, I thought I'd do the conclusion with the red car because obviously that's my favorite color, and I'm going to always choose a red car over any other color that's given if I have an option. Now, let me talk about the tentative pricing because the sort of base models, the one with the normal K15 engine, is going to be sort of well priced-ish. But going by what the Brezza has been priced recently, I think the top of the line versions are going to be a little bit more expensive. In fact, I think they're going to be probably the priciest cars in the segment, this and the Toyota both. But I think there is definitely a market for people who want a hybrid, a real hybrid SUV in this sort of 24-25 lakh rupee price point. Because what else do you have? You have the Honda City Hybrid, and then that's about it. That said, the Brezza is expensive, very expensive, most expensive car in its category. That already has 70,000-80,000 bookings, and 45% of those bookings are for that top of the line model. So a bigger Maruti SUV with automatic options, with hybrid options, people are going to be wanting to buy this because after all, everybody's been waiting for this, and we've been waiting for this, and you've been waiting for this for a long, long time. I can't wait to drive one now.
I don't really know.